Are you a business owner looking for real advice and input? You're in the right place. From concept to launch to growth, funding, and beyond. Welcome to Startup Hustle with your hosts. One once sold a business for $150 million. The other, the author of $1 Million Bedroom. Here are your hosts of Startup Hustle, Matt DeCourcy and Matt Watson.
And we're back. Another episode of Startup Hustle. Matt DeCourcy here with Matt Watson. Hi, Matt.
What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm just trying to bulk up a little bit.
I'm tired. I had to get up this morning and jog my memory.
Well,
it's really wearing me out.
I think we're
morning exercise.
I think we're on two different programs here. So, you know, I'm working on strength and power, and you're doing mental cardio.
You know, I don't lift weights.
Yeah,
because they're heavy.
They're heavy. So with that, I brought in someone to help consult on your new regime and routine. With us today, we've got Jay Ashman, who is the owner of Kansas City Barbell. Jay, is this true?
That's true.
All right. Well, for those of you listening, first off, this episode of Startup Hustle is brought to you by Fullscale.io. And you know I love it when you're interactive, so go to kcbarbell.com. And for those of you that don't know how to spell, barbell has two L's. Also true, right?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. We went to the World's game last summer as a team with the whole gym, and we had our name up on a marquee. They spelled barbell with one L.
Yeah, I kind of anticipated that.
Did you go kick their ass?
What can I do? I mean, World's game. You just sit there and cheer and be like, oh yeah, one L, great, thanks guys.
So Jay, KC Barbell is a gym that deals with personal training more on some level. You have some different iterations of it, but why don't you go ahead and start everyone off by letting us know what you guys do down at KC Barbell?
All right, it's pretty simple. We are a coaching gym model, which means that you cannot just join the gym and do what you want. You know, we provide the programming, we provide the coaching, and we will help you get your goals set up. So when you come into the gym, you can either be a floor coaching client or a personal training client, one of the two. Like if you want to go to a gym and just do your own thing, probably go to One Life, go somewhere else. That's not really what we do.
So what does floor coaching mean?
Floor coaching means that we have set hours at the gym, 6 to 8 in the morning, 11 to 1 in the afternoon, 3:30 until 8 o'clock at night, give or take. So you pretty much reserve a slot of time during the day, and you come in during that time. So there's no set hours that you have to come in. So like CrossFit is a class model where you come in at 4, 5, or 6.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that. If you want to come in at 4:15, that's fine. Like 4:22, I really don't care.
But they can't do what they want. It's still
no.
A
We
class?
provide the programming for them. So me and my other co-owner Sean, and we have another coach named Alex who's kind of an intern helping us out. He's new to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically coach them. So if we have a form issue, we watch their form, we spot them,
Okay.
we give them advice.
But it's not one-on-one personal training?
No, one-on-one personal training is obviously a different tier structure.
So this is kind of like group instructor.
It's a group dynamic,
Okay.
but it's not like we're all working out together like one big happy family. You'll have 2 guys doing one workout, 2 people doing another workout.
I just see you as like a drill sergeant standing up on the bench.
I used to be that way.
Come on, one more. Let's go.
and for
Suck it in.
And for those of you that want to know what Watson's talking about, you can go to the Startup Hustle YouTube channel, because Jay, you do look the part. I'm gonna have to agree.
You would scare the shit out of me, and I'd be doing like 3 more reps.
Yeah, and also, Matt, I need to talk to you about your form. I feel that it's lacking.
Do I need to put my butt out more, or what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to go to the gym and put your butt out more. If you could, just really like stick it out more on everything.
Chest out more?
Yeah,
Okay.
Chest and butt out more.
Chest and butt out. And,
same time.
And you do have to go all the way down.
Okay.
Sure, this is working out, or is it something else? I'm not really sure here.
I think we're still talking about working out.
He wants me to go all the way down.
Oh, Jesus. All
Sounds
right,
pretty good.
So, Jay, I'm assuming that is the benefit of the floor training model to still have access somewhat to the feel of a personal trainer without taking on the expense of like paying $100 a session or something?
Exactly what it is. So you're getting a program. Most of our members are professionals. They're not like me. They're not going to live, breathe, eat, sleep, and pretty much crap weightlifting. So
They're like business professionals.
yeah,
Is that
we
what
have
you mean?
CEOs, we have everything. We have a lady who owns American and Company. She's an ad copy person for nonprofits. We got head engineers and Black and Viach. So we have people who actually don't live this stuff, but they want to come in and work out. So they don't want to think about their training program all the time.
Yeah.
But they don't. Maybe they don't really want a personal trainer 4 days a week.
Well, I did personal training before, and the best part about it is it held me accountable.
Yeah, that's what we
It
do.
held me accountable.
Well,
And this sounds like it would also hold me accountable, but in a group setting and not cost as much.
Well, with the price point we have, you're not paying the pro training cost. You're still paying a decent amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So with that kind of money, it's like you don't want to just not come in and spend it.
Yeah.
And plus,
hold you accountable.
Yeah, you have a program that we deliver to you and say, this is your program for the week. And you come in. We know if you're here. We know if you're not there.
Yeah.
So we'll reach out to people and say, hey, we haven't seen you in a week. Where you been? Or stuff like that.
And then you're standing on the bench screaming at me, and I do it.
Yeah,
So
stuff like
but
that
another thing too is, and so I grew up playing sports and stuff like that. So going to the gym is fairly straightforward for me. But not everyone was in that boat. So I mean, having someone to like actually give you some guidance is a good thing. Because I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, if you want to have I don't want to say enjoyable, but an interesting 10 minutes, go to YouTube and type in gym fails.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll just see people like doing stupid shit at the gym because they don't know any better.
There's a lot of people that have never been to the gym.
Yeah, well, and first off, you can hurt yourself, and second off, if you're not even coming close to doing it right, you're kind of just wasting your time.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's why I don't go.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. It's funny because, I was telling Jay earlier, I've got a nice gym in my house, which is sometimes great and also sometimes the hardest place to work out because it's easy to not hold yourself accountable at home. Like it's easy for me to, and I've got everything that you would find at most gyms.
I know. You love taking selfies of you sculpting your guns.
Yeah, I never do that. His
Instagram's like every other photo. It's him sculpting his gun.
Okay, first off, my Instagram is at DeCourcy Matt. If you want to go verify, I am not, and will not ever post any gun sculpting pictures. But I will actually drop that. My wife loves that. She's like, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "I gotta go sculpt my guns."
Oh my god.
Yeah. Any gun comments you can make, sun's out, guns out, tickets to the gun show. I mean, this is why my wife rolls her eyes at 90% of what I say. So, Jay, you told me before we started that you focus on strength and power. Why is that your thing?
Well, the base level of all fitness programs come from being stronger. Whether you want to be in better shape, whether you want to look better, the base level of all training is basically weight training. You can improve your fitness without it, but it will make improving your fitness a lot easier with it.
You build more muscle, increases your metabolism.
Exactly.
It's really just,
you look a little sexier.
Well, it's also just, it's kind of you're my age.
Yes.
So we're in our mid 40s, and let's just put it this way, man. The easier years of all of the fitness stuff are behind me. So it's for me, it's like I just don't want to wither away, man.
Yeah.
And I think some of that, there's just a lot of studies that show that just some general light weightlifting as you get older, especially as a man, is good for you. It strengthens a lot of things.
Well, we have a guy in the gym now who joined a few months ago. He's a 63-year-old X-ray technician, and his purpose of joining is that he wants to maintain the muscle that he has, so he can actually age and feel better as he gets older. And that's a good enough reason to get stronger for me, obviously.
So how did you get into this? How long has KC Barbell been around?
We've been around for about a year and, say, 8 months.
Okay.
So the gym pretty much started as a joke because, well, first of all, I'm working for City Gym in Waldo, which I'm sure you may have heard of. And
I have not.
It's a pretty cool little gym over in Waldo area. So I worked there for about a year, and I started getting, I come from the world of strength training, and gyms like that don't like people that have like heavy deadlifting because it causes noise and stuff like that. So I kept getting people that want to train to get stronger and do powerlifting. And I'm like, well, I can't do this at City Gym. I need to have my own place. So my buddy, Sean, who is in Virginia, he owned CrossFit Mount Vernon. I messaged him with a joke. I said, hey, when you sell your gym, move out here, open one with me. And because he's getting ready to sell his gym. So at that point, he was like kind of blew it off, and then he kept thinking about it, and then he came out here in January of 2018 or something like that. Yeah, and he visited the place, and he liked KC. And ever since then, we looked for a place and we opened it up. So the first month we were open, he didn't even live here. All his equipment got driven out here. We put it in the gym. We started off with some bare basic stuff, and then he moved out, found a place, and then we kind of grew off from there. So it started up as kind of a...
And you've never owned a gym before?
I partially owned one in Ohio for a little bit, but that's a story I probably won't go into.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of an epic fail and not really my part. But I managed a gym. I was a personal training manager of a gym in New York City.
Okay.
I ran a gym, Oklahoma City, called Brewhouse Barbell.
So how has the experience been from that to deciding, okay, I'm going to open a gym?
It's a whole different ball. It's a whole different ballgame.
To me, a gym seems like a fairly easy thing to open, but it also feels like it probably takes quite a bit of capital to buy all the equipment.
Well, dude, it's about getting people to come to it.
Yeah,
that too. But
that's the hard part.
But the equipment's not cheap either.
No, equipment mostly came from Sean's old gym. We bought stuff as we went. We kind of took the philosophy, we're not going to max out credit to buy stuff until we need it. And then when we did buy stuff, we made sure we could pay it with cash. We spent no credit money opening the gym, and we were in the black within 6 months.
Very good.
I
Do you focus mainly on free weight type stuff?
Yeah,
there?
so we don't have any machines in the gym.
Oh,
yeah.
that is a big
because,
difference.
dude, it's like I have a cable machine,
And they're expensive.
the thing was freaking $5,000. I mean, I use it for a lot of stuff, and it's like I love having it. But another thing people don't realize too is even just general weights like dumbbells.
They're expensive.
They're freaking expensive.
Oh, they're like a couple dollars a pound or something.
Yeah,
like that.
buy
They're
and
expensive.
then buy two 90-pound ones.
That's what
and
I
next
mean,
thing
yeah.
you know, you're like, wow, that's
Yeah.
$400.
Well,
That's
basically
a lot.
what we did was we bought a set of dumbbells a few months ago from 5 to 100 pounds, every 5-pound increments, and we got them for $1,000. But
That's a good deal.
which
That's
is
a lot
steal.
less than what I paid for the
Well,
ones
it's from
in
a
my
gym.
house.
It was from a gym actually closed down before, so we actually had quite a chance to get them. And it was a good deal. So they were a little rusty. We had to clean them off, but small price to pay for not spending like double the money at least.
That's kind of, but for powerlifting gyms, that's kind of a like, I mean, it's kind of like you see startups in all different kinds of spaces, you know, like, and there's almost that vintage or that we'll say in this case that kind of roughneck feel of powerlifting.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but there's a documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, West Side versus the World.
Yes, yeah, and it was all powerlifters. Now these dudes were like serious. I mean, they were like squatting like 600 pounds and shit, and they were pretty intense. But it was a different culture, and I don't like at their gym they just had the windows blacked out. There wasn't a sign out front. You had to like be invited to be a member at this gym. Yeah, they didn't really care about how shiny the dumbbells were.
So how did you go about acquiring your first customers? Did you have some clientele you were able to bring with you?
I had a couple clients already, and obviously, and we started out with one person who committed to join. It was a client I had at City Gym. Brent True was my first actual gym member who committed. And ever since then, we pretty much ran a special saying the first 10 people who first month you join, we'll give you a discount in price. And after that, we bump it up a little bit. So we just kind of built it from one person, one month from there. And we kind of aim at gym, like we don't want to be strictly a powerlifting gym. I mean, obviously, that's part of what we do. We have competitors, but our main focus is bringing strength training to people that don't compete.
How do you find your clients? Do you like? I mean, what's been one of your better or more
networking
effective?
really hard. I mean, that's marketing is probably the hardest part. That's trying to word things a certain way on social media. How do you write a blog to make people read that and say, I want to be there? Like, what kind of pictures do you use? Like, who do you talk to? I mean, you pretty much, like I say, if you're an introvert in any way, you're going to be a really bad gym owner. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. When you meet people on the street, like if I go to a business and meet the owner, I got to give them my card and say, yeah, I own this gym down the street. Come check us out, so on and so forth. Like when you got the place in the Crossroads, I went to every business in the area and talked to every owner and just said who I was and introduced myself. I joined the Chamber of Commerce down in Kansas City to meet people. It was all about, even if they don't join the gym,
they know somebody who wants to join
They know somebody who wants to join the gym, remember my name, remember my face. And I'm a pretty unique looking character, which I know that. So
yeah, man, play to your strengths.
Yeah, play to
by the way, I
strengths.
think if you're an introvert, you're likely to probably not be a great marketer.
No,
because it's not inherent. It's not in your nature.
Unless you can write very well.
To be, but still, it's I mean, on some level, but so I'm clearly an extrovert. I have been my whole life, and promoting and marketing comes very naturally to me because it's just like, hey, and even my daughter's like that, who, by the way, did successfully raise a successful round of VC funding.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
In a room full of strangers the other night. Yeah.
It was 5 figures too.
Yeah, well, 6.
6 figures. Yeah,
$6.
sorry,
$6.
No. Fact shaping.
Well, no, she raised that to a $5 million valuation, and my buddy offered to put in $50 later for 0.001%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somehow she created $5 million worth of wealth in
That's
3
pretty
hours.
impressive. Yeah.
It's all been downhill since then. I think WeWork and SoftBank are considering a large investment. Yeah, because they'll buy anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you guys bootstrapped a lot of your growth.
Right.
Well, congrats on that, by the way. That's not always the easiest thing to do. Is that the plan for going forward? Do you want to open more spots?
Well, we're moving to a bigger spot. Where we're moving to, it's 3,500 square feet. It's a wide open floor space. It's a standalone building. It's right in the middle of Union Hill.
And that's going to be at 2734 McGee on
Yes.
March 1st and
Yes.
after. And right now you're at 1714 homes,
Yeah,
right?
we're basically moving 10 blocks up the street.
By the way, if you want to check out KC Barbell, you can go on the gram and check out at Kansas City Barbell. There might be pictures of my guns on there. Probably not. It's never really been my thing. No, I actually kind of fuck with people that I'm like, do I really need to see another picture of your post-run map? I don't.
All right.
I'm just not a big fan of that.
All right.
Some people like it, some people don't. I don't know. Jill gets mad at me when I say that. So, but she also runs, and I don't.
Yeah.
My wife is currently not only just wearing an Apple Watch, but also a Fitbit.
Oh, really?
Apparently,
Both,
just
huh?
I don't know if she's
double
just.
whammy.
I mean, she's got tracked. Yeah. Yeah, she also can run 13 miles in under 2 hours.
That's
where
crazy.
I think I can't drive that far in 2 hours. So, so what went about? Do you feel that? All right, so your business is growing.
Right.
3,500 square feet is actually a fairly large gym.
It is, but it'll fill up pretty. We have 10 power racks. We have 2 dumbbell sets, a ton of kettlebells, sleds, sandbags, balls. I mean, crazy bars, competition benches, competition racks. It'll fill up pretty quick.
Do you guys do CrossFit, stuff like that? Too?
No, we do not.
Okay.
No.
It's all strength.
I mean, we do conditioning workouts. So we have a couple different program offerings. We have obviously weightlifting, which is Olympic weightlifting. We have powerlifting. We have something called Strong and Fit, which is what most people do. It's basically strength training with some fitness stuff in it.
Has the fad of CrossFit kind of died off a little bit?
No, it has not. It will probably stay for a while. I mean, there is definitely good parts and bad parts of CrossFit. You know, the good parts are that it gets people to work out. Some of the bad parts is that some of the movements they do are a little bit high risk, low reward. So you have to take.
Well, I think I can lift up those giant tires.
So
I'm
did
really
too.
excited about that.
I mean, until I tore a bicep doing one.
Are there any other fads these days?
There's always a fad. I mean, keto technically a fad. I mean, P90X was a fad.
Yeah,
I mean,
P90X, remember that one too.
You see him come and go
We
constantly.
could go back. You had Tybo.
Tybo was a fad. You always see something come and go, but the basics
Doesn't go away. The
it
basic
doesn't.
strength
The
training
basic
doesn't go away.
train, get stronger, get in better shape, eat well, you'll be fine.
I would think those fads overall are helpful to the industry as a whole, right? All of a sudden you get kind of more people thinking about working out.
Oh, definitely. I think CrossFit was the biggest thing to happen to the business in a long time. I always call it CrossFit's been the gateway drug for heavier lifting.
Right.
It's kind of like you get into CrossFit and you're like, wow, I like lifting heavy weights. I'm going to do something different. It's true.
Hey, here's the thing so I'm not so Jill, my wife, she stays in great shape, and she really favors she uses Apple TV. That is basically her instructor, and it works for her. She likes that structure. She likes to be able to follow along something. I can't do that. I get bored after 5 minutes, and I don't like doing long cardio sessions. Like what they're doing down at the gym, would resonate well with me.
Yeah, me too.
On many days. I mean,
I would rather go play a sport. I'd rather go play tennis or racquetball or something
than
like
just
that.
run.
Yeah, I hate running.
Yeah.
Well, when I played rugby, I had to run, and because obviously to be in shape for the game, but I really hated it. And when I stopped playing rugby, I stopped running completely, which might have been a mistake, but nevertheless, I mean, I always felt like I'd rather run playing a sport.
I just get bored, man. I have ADD, and I can do the treadmill. I have one, but I have to do something else with it.
Watch a movie or something.
Yeah, and I can't. I have to cover the clock too.
Yeah,
Because if I look down, I'll look down at it every
Just
minute.
stare
I'm
at
like,
it.
God, that's only been a minute. Hey Jay, I want you to know that if we draft a startup hustle rugby team, you're likely to be my first pick.
That'd be great. I mean, I might be a
Yeah.
little bit fragile right now. but
Well,
doing my best.
I mean, my other choice is Matt, or Johnny, or Breland. So, would you feel comfortable that he would be the first overall pick?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Are you fast? I don't know.
Fast-ish, I guess.
Maybe I can run
So I
faster.
can't pick myself. if
Maybe
I'm
I
the
can
team
run
captain.
faster. I don't know. Maybe I can outrun him.
Probably
Probably could.
not.
I don't know. You never know.
Maybe.
No.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a little beat up in my old age.
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
So, all right. So, we talked about the why and kind of some of the things that you needed to start. I want to get back to the marketing thing again because, like we mentioned, that networking and getting out and talking to people is obviously a great way to do it. I would also think that a big source of future clients would be from the ones you already have.
Yes, we do that. We have this week. We have Bring a Friend Week.
Okay.
So we can bring a friend into the gym anytime you want during the day, and we'll just work out with you and get your information. We'll contact them, see if they liked it. So it's a constant. I mean, referrals are the number one thing for a gym. Your people have to tell their friends and bring friends with them. That's the whole lifeblood of any kind of gym like this. It's a community.
Yeah, the gym buddy's like a big thing. I
Yeah.
mean, like if you have like
Oh,
someone
yeah.
that comes and works out, but that's just someone else to hold you accountable.
Well,
Yeah.
we have husband and wife teams in there.
Yeah.
We have parents and kids that join. So that kind of becomes like a little side family. It's like a third home. I mean, they always say you work in your home, or your home number one, home number two. You have a third home. What's it going to be? It's going to be either a bar, which ain't the best thing in the world to do, or it could be a gym, which is a little healthier, obviously. Everybody has 3 homes. Everybody does. So we try to be that third home.
What is that actual home work, and then
Yeah, exactly.
potentially the gym?
Everybody
I
has
feel like my third home is the Sprint Center.
Yeah, that's
It
for
kind of
sure
has
for
as many
you.
events as we hosted there.
I think my third home is more work from home.
Yeah, well then I have 4 homes. Yeah,
Well, think about
more
where you
work from
think
home.
about
your
where you
third
go.
home might be in Cebu, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about where you go to hang out the most. Like, what do you do? Like, hang out with your wife, your friends. I mean, something like that. Where do you guys? Everybody has these rituals.
Yeah.
We're creatures of
Yeah,
habit.
now I got 5 homes. 'Cause
Mine
this,
is my couch with my laptop.
this
That's a
podcast
home.
studio is kind of on the list.
True.
too. Yeah,
We spend a few hours a week.
I
in
might
here.
start working out during the podcast
There
because
we
that
go.
way I could multitask. I mean, hang on. Where's the little squeezy eggs? Here we
You
go.
can
I'm gonna
sculpt
get it
your
working.
guns.
I'm gonna get this working.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Hang on.
And get a picture.
I'm expecting Jay to start yelling at me to get squeezed
One
one
more!
Yeah.
One more!
Harder.
All right. So you mentioned that. So a lot of the people that listen to this are obviously entrepreneurs, and a lot of people have interest in software. You mentioned that you have a lot of software developers as people that come down to the gym.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like
amazingly enough.
Is that? Do you think that's just because there's a lot of that going on in your neighborhood, or like are the companies providing your services, or like?
Well, we're working on corporate wellness packages now, actually, getting more companies in there. But honestly, the accessibility of strength training is different than what it used to be. I mean, when I started off in this industry, people did not lift like this en masse. It was more in bodybuilding style, which obviously is still lifting weights, but it's all about aesthetics and how you look. I think people like to perform well and be strong more now than they have like 10, 15 years ago. And I think people want to be healthy. I mean, a software developer is sitting around a computer all day and typing, hunched over, not really, just being very active. And I think the culture of lifting has grown so large that it reaches people that it normally would not have reached before. So that's a big reason. I can't give you an answer besides that. That's all I can hypothesize.
I mean, as a culture, we are becoming more sedentary. What's the damn word?
Sedentary.
Yeah.
We are, but we're also becoming more active. I mean, you have 2 sides of the spectrum. You have one half is saying we're just gonna, keep being lazy and sloth-like. The other half is saying, no, we're gonna be more fit and strong.
Yeah.
I definitely see both sides happening, and it really depends on socioeconomics as well. I mean, it seems like the more money one makes or has, they're more liable to be involved with something like this than if you're not that well off.
Yeah.
We don't have economics behind
That's
you.
actually a known statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the as you climb the socioeconomic ladder, you achieve a higher level of fitness, and it's actually direct. It's more it's tied to, well, here's the thing: is if you're broke and you're working 3 jobs,
You don't have
that's where
time.
your extra energy goes. So
You just don't have time.
yeah, you get a little bit of time, and then I mean, there's, then I think also it's affordability and accessibility.
Well, I think having kids changes a lot too.
It
A
does.
lot of these dynamics, and I'm one of those guys that's like I'm using Instacart and all this stuff. I'm not going to the store. Like it's like forget it. I'm not dragging
But who
3
could-
kids to the grocery
yeah,
store.
but why?
Become
Why
more
would you?
sedentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but dude, I don't think you're gonna like fix going to the store
I
and
know.
walking around does not count as not being sedentary.
But it's
It's
steps.
like
It's-
literally like about a tenth of a notch above it.
well, but it's every little bit counts though.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, if you go down to talk to Luke Wade at KC Crew and like join a pickleball team or
Yeah.
a kickball team or go to Hy-Vee Arena and play basketball or something like that, then we'll say you're not sedentary.
yeah.
So, do you have any partnerships with places like that? The places I just mentioned are associates of ours. Any plans to like branch out and do things outside of the gym?
Well, we definitely do. As far as right now, we're kind of locked in to getting the self moved, but definitely at the beginning of the year, we were looking at getting involved with some of these different companies, having partnerships, especially with young athletes, because I come from a sport background more than anything else, and I've trained athletes before pretty often. So
There's a lot of money in that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of resource behind that. I've seen that change, and largely through my friends that have kids. I'm like, holy shit! Like you guys are. So I played baseball. That was my main thing. But I mean, and a couple of guys that I played baseball with ended up playing professionally later, and they're coaches now, and they do really well because parents will put money behind that part of their kids, sports careers. At the same time, like, man, I had a buddy in Indianapolis who had a 4th grader, and their baseball team played 70 games in a year. I'm like, dude,
that's a lot.
that's too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
So some of that, do you see some people pushing the young athletes a little harder than they should? Because I see it everywhere.
I've seen that for years. I mean, luckily in our gym, we don't have that. The parents are very supportive, and they don't push them very hard. They just kind of like, they're guiding them along. But I've definitely seen some horror stories when I was coaching and training kids. I used to be a football coach as well and a baseball coach, and I have seen it way too many times.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depressing to see that, because you see the dad or the mom living vicariously through their kid, trying to use their kids' accomplishments as a platform for them. So it doesn't really work out too well when dad and mom can't simmer down and let a kid just play the game for fun.
Do you know that for a few years of my life, I was nearly a full-time baseball umpire, and at one point considered pursuing that as a real career? Yeah.
No.
I played baseball in high school, and I started as a summer job here in Blue Valley. I started umpiring baseball games when I was like 14, and I'm taller and bigger and louder than the other kids were, so they always let me do older kids, and I did well with it. Kind of liked the game, and when I was about 18, I considered there's like schools you have to go through that, and then I realized I was like, man, there's a lot of other things I can do and probably get paid more to have people yell at me all day. And that was really like how it went. But yeah, but with that, you talk about seeing, I mean, people chill the fuck out a little bit, their kids.
Right.
Like, I mean, there was times I'm just like, man, like this is a 9-year-old, chill out. It's a little league game.
I remember the time I was training these 2 sisters back in Long Island, and they were swimmers, and they were really good swimmers. And the dad was one of those overbearing swim dads. And swim has a tendency to have some really overbearing parents. So we're in the gym. He's watching them work out all the time, and he's trying to tell me what they should do. And I'm like, you paid me. I'm a professional. Just let me do what I have to do. And then he was telling a story in one session about how the one girl got first in some big state meet, and she did great. And when his wife called him in the phone to tell him about it, he said his reaction was, well, why didn't she swim faster? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, God, this guy's kind of an asshole. I'm like, the kid just won a big meet, and you're worried about her going faster. I'm like, granted, maybe she could have, we don't know. But the fact of the matter is, you worry about that later, not at that moment.
Yeah.
So, little change of direction here. So, entrepreneurship is known for putting a lot of stress on the entrepreneur. We've even had episodes where we've talked about founders' depression and different stuff like that. If you had to give a fitness tip or something to snap someone out of a rut, what's a good tip for those that are a little if you have founder's depression or you need to get your shit together?
Well, I mean, there's really no secret to this one. I mean, I couldn't even give out an honest answer. I mean, I have a therapist I see every week to deal with, the anxiety of things and stress and whatnot. Because as you know, running a business takes a lot of stress out of you, and it's a lot of sleepless nights here and there. So I would tell somebody if they definitely have a founder's depression or they're stressed, definitely seek professional help. Talk to somebody about it. Don't just bottle it up and kind of forge ahead. You can only fake that for so long before it starts to add up and affects your mental health too much. I did that for a little bit, and it starts to add up a lot. I mean, I've had moments where I'm thinking, am I going to fail? Is this going to work? Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? You have imposter syndrome, all those things. And by talking to somebody and getting it out and actually having my thoughts being processed, it becomes a little bit easier to deal with that. So that's my only real suggestion with that.
That wasn't the answer I was expecting, but it's a good one.
What did you expect?
Well, I didn't know. I mean,
Suck it up and deal with it kind of thing.
I mean, on some levels, but also, I don't know. I thought that was all really good advice. It's amazing how many people talk about everything being such a grind, but it's true, man. Owning a business is not for everyone. What they say, but 3 out of 1,000 people are an entrepreneur or likely to be any good at it. So that means there's a whole lot of people that aren't ready to deal with it. Now, that saying, I have been training for this next moment for quite a while. I'm damn near world-class shape. I'm ready to compete. I've got my gold shoes on. My cleats are sharp. I'm ready for the starting gun. I think it's time to play mixtape.
All right.
Have you played mixtape before?
I have heard it.
I noticed. You've heard of it?
I've heard of it, yes.
Love it. I love that. So mixtapethegame.com. So Jay, I've drawn a card out of the mixtape deck. I'm going to read a scenario. We will all pick a song that we feel comes to mind or is best for the scenario, and then we will vote on who wins. You may not vote for yourself. Han just handed you the keys to the Millennium Falcon for a quick joyride through the Alderaan system. What's the best song to jump into hyperspace to? I'm going with 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I guess I got to go with Limp Bizkit, Rollin'.
You really? You with the fucking Limp Bizkit answers, man.
I'm going to date myself horribly here. And so with Sammy Hagar, I Can't Drive 55.
Ooh, I like that. I'm voting for him.
All right, you win.
You're voting for him too?
Yeah, he wins.
Congratulations, Jay. And you know what? Here. It's been a little while since we fired the money gun. Let me get prepared. Would you like to fire the money gun?
What is that thing anyway?
It is a money gun. It literally fires money.
It fires money.
Yes.
Yeah, you need one of these at the gym.
Sounds like a make it rain kind of scenario.
It's exactly what it is.
So you just pull the trigger and it fires money?
Yeah.
Well, hell, look at that.
Let it loose.
Dude, this is the best thing ever. I know, actually, there's a market for everything. Whoa.
Whoa! Come out the top.
There we go.
There you go.
That's unreal.
Congratulations
Thanks.
on being the winner of Mixtape.
That's a money gun.
It really is.
We've never heard it. I've even seen that before. That's unreal.
It's amazing how much joy the money gun brings our guests. I mean, isn't it? This is like at least the 30th person that's been like, oh my God, I didn't know something like this existed.
Very few people have ever
Well, I'm actually not really shocked Supreme makes it, though.
Well, or they probably didn't make this one because I bought it for a discount on Amazon.
Wow.
But anyway,
Probably
congratulations on your victory. Now, with that, because Joel Johnson, the creator of Mixtape the Game, has been kind enough to bring us promotional decks, Jay, I am proud to say that you will be leaving with your own Mixtape the Game.
Great.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
You didn't realize you were going to win cash and prizes here today, although you cannot keep the money from the money gun.
That's fine.
We wouldn't be able to fire it again. So, Jay, as we kind of wrap up this episode, what we like to do at the end of everything, at the end of Startup Hustle episodes, is we have what we have lovingly been calling the Founders Freestyle, where you can pretty much say about whatever you want to say. It can be advice. You can talk about your business. You can do about whatever you want. Anything you feel you need to get out of your system before we end this episode.
Wow, that's no pressure at all there whatsoever.
It's really not.
Just get it all out.
Yeah.
Sit here to get my soapbox up, get a cup of coffee, and good to go. Well, for most of your audience, I'm pretty sure is well versed in entrepreneurship, or at least has an idea what they want to do with their life when they grow up. You know.
No, I wouldn't assume that.
Well,
I just figured it out.
I'm not sure what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah, it's a common issue.
no, well, you have to actually grow up first, which is kind of a hard thing to do. One thing I can ever say to people: living your passion is a lot of fun, but if you don't have systems to live your passion in place, it's going to end up being a chore, and you start hating it after a while. Like I remember when I was a personal training manager of a gym, and the hours would kill me. I mean, I'm working 16 hours a day, doing clients, cold calls, and that's a miserable experience because you start to like really resent the business you're in when you're working at a point where you have absolutely no time for yourself. And I'm kind of a man that values free time. I'm a man that I really need to have that time away from my work to function. So I came to a breaking point where if I didn't take that time, I was going to go nuts, so to speak. So my only thing is, no matter how busy or how much of a grind or how much you love to hustle, you need to take time for that actual true self-care. Whether it's getting away from a job for a day, you know, trusting somebody to do the work for you, you know, taking time to hang out with your friends. You know, it's not even about going to the gym. I mean, some people use that as a self-care. I can't because the gym is an obligation for me. Working out is something I do. I can't look at it as something to say, well, I'm taking care of myself. It's kind of what I am. So for me, it's taking a day, going to the museum, you know, drawing, writing, some kind of a creative outlet, getting me away from the logical world that I exist in with strength training and dealing with people. Now, obviously, what I do is very psychological. It's all an art form wrapped around science. But if I don't step away from it once in a while, I kind of get a little bit resentful about what I'm doing. So I love what I do, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm trapped in it. So same thing for your audience too, people that own businesses. I mean, you might work 70 hours a week, and that's great for a while, but eventually that will add up, and you'll start to hate what you do. So take the time to take care of yourself. That's important.
Mr. Watson?
Yeah, that's actually what I was wanting to talk about was your final point there. Is I think as entrepreneurs, it is very stressful in the grind, and I think this is a reminder to all of us that we need to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
I mean, to follow on with what you're saying, and I'm guilty of that too. I need to get back to working out, getting exercise, good stress relief, and it's of course what you always talk about in your book, but the personal,
professional, and physical.
Yeah, the balance of those things. So yeah, I think it's important as an entrepreneur to, you know, find ways to de-stress, or like you said, you know, you spend so much time in one mode, but you need to spend some time in more of a creative mode or
Yes.
whatever, and have me time. So I think it's all really important.
Well, I think a lot of men in general have a tendency to kind of put their head down and forge ahead without thinking about the consequences of that action. You know, you can do that for so long until you just get to the point where you're hitting walls over and over again.
Yeah.
So as we, and Jay, thank you so much for coming in before I rock a freestyle, which is, I believe, you want to stick around for a minute to hear. You can go to kcbarbell.com. Jay has a personal website too. It's jayashman.com. When you're on the Instagram, go to @Kansas City Barbell. You can see pictures, videos. You want to see Jay shooting a money gun, go to @Startup Hustle Podcast. You can check us out, or this episode will also be on YouTube. So as we round out this episode, and Matt, thanks for the teeing up the book thing. I wrote a book called Balance Me. It's just it Balance Me, a realist guide to a successful life. And it's over the years I realized that everyone has a different balance of personal, professional, and physical that works for them. But you got to try to figure out what that is. And it's pretty simple. You can write down 3 numbers of you get 100% of your own effort. What do you currently put in towards professional, your personal life, and your physical life, and then write down 3 more numbers about what you'd really like to be doing, because there's a difference. You know, there's a difference between where you're putting your effort and where you probably should put your effort. But really, in the end, for example, if all you do is put your effort into professional, your physical life's going to fall apart, your personal life's going to fall apart, and they will force everything back into balance, because your wife and your kids your wife might leave you, your kids might have problems because you're not around, and or maybe you have physical problems because you haven't stayed in shape, and now you have health problems, and it is literally life will force your shit back into balance. I'm not going to bore you with all those details right now. Literally made the book Balance Me $1.99 on Kindle on Amazon. Just because it's not about like trying to make bucks off that. There's even a free app in the App Store that'll help you keep track of your own life balance per se. But yeah, in the end, really, you just the whole thesis of the book is you got to just figure out what you want and figure out what the steps are to get there, and start replacing some low value activities with ones that move you towards your goal.
Right.
Eat that elephant one bite at a time. Speaking of which, I'm gonna start chewing on the tail.
I'm gonna go sculpt my guns.
See you guys next time.
Thanks.